Okay, we're going to go ahead and try a few of these problems. On the last section, we had ones that were intercepts. On this one, we're just going to deal with points in general. Any 2 points can define a line. So in this case, it wants us to make this graph. So I have the point 4, negative 4, negative 3. So just go over there on your graph to negative 4 and then down to negative 3. Remember, the first number, the x, is across. The second number, the y, is up and down. Once you graph that point, you should be able to drag and try to find another point. So that is a negative 1, negative 6 is another point. Now, if you happen to miss and get it in the wrong place, you could always just hover over the line and that little x will get rid of it. And then you can do your line correctly. So there's negative 4, negative 3 again, and then negative 1, negative 6. You can definitely tell that this line has a negative slope because it's going down. And to figure out how negative, we can count how far down it's going. It's going down 1, 2, 3. And then it's going over, always go from left to right, 1, 2, 3. So that's a negative 3 over 3, which is a slope of negative 1. So that kind of gets you an idea of what's going on. Now, we also look at the y-intercept. In this case, my y-intercept is a negative 7. So I have a y equals a negative 1x minus 7. Y equals a negative 1x minus 7, like that way. That will help you get an idea of what is going on. The other thing you have is always when you're writing in y equals mx plus b, always be sure to put the slope in front of the x. So y equals negative 1x, and then put the minus 7 on the end. If you ever want to use the actual points to help you out, you can do that. I could have gotten my 3 by saying how far is it from negative 3 to negative 6, which is 3. How far is it from negative 4 to negative 1, which is 3. So that would have let me know my slope was 1. But to figure out if it was positive 1 or negative 1, I would have needed to sketch the graph. And that's why on these, since you have to graph it anyway, I think that's probably the best way to start. Let's go ahead and try another example. Okay, this one I have the point negative 1, negative 4. And I also have positive 1, negative 4. So just click and graph those 2 points, and there you have them. Now notice that on this one, it's a horizontal line. And if I would have compared the distance, that would have been over 0. I'm sorry, up 0 and over 2. So that would have given me a slope of 0. Or I can say a horizontal line is a slope of 0. So my slope is 0, and my y-intercept is negative 4. So when I go to graph this equation, I'm going to have the 0 in front of the x. So that means I would have a y equals 0x minus 4. It would be a better way to put this in to get rid of the 0x, because you never, 0 times anything is just 0. So there's no need to even have that 0x there at all. So y equals negative 4 would be the best final answer on this one. We'll go ahead and try one from the next section. Okay, this one talks about a point of 4, 3. I think sketching a graph's a good idea. So over 4, up 3, about like that. And then an undefined slope. Remember, as I said in your notes, review notes on this lesson, an undefined slope is a vertical line. So you have this thing right here that goes through the point 4, 3. Since this crosses the x-axis, you know it's an x equals, and the x-coordinate equals is the x-coordinate of that point, which is 4. If they would have told you it was a slope of 0 through that point, you would have had something like that, and it crossed the y-axis, so it would have been a y equals, the y-coordinate of that point would have been a 3. So a slope of 0 is a horizontal line, a y equals a slope of undefined is a vertical line, and for your answer, you would just do x equals 4, and that should be the correct answer. I'll go ahead and try another one if we have time. Okay, this one is a slope of 4, negative 3. I'm sorry, a point of 4, negative 3 and a slope of 3/4. It's not a bad idea to sketch that. So negative 4, negative 3, and then slope up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you get too lucky, you figure out the y-intercept is 0. So that would be a y equals, put the slope in front of the x, plus 0. No need to even type that in.